will be developed. So when we say the types are influenced by the aims, or you can say the philosophies, as well as the vision and mission of the syllabus. And all these concepts that I'm mentioning are interrelated. That is, one influence the other. The philosophy of the curriculum influence the mission or the vision of the curriculum. Likewise, the vision influence the mission. Then the mission influence the rationale or the specific aims of teaching the syllabus. And then ultimately the type of syllabus that is developed. Is it clear? You know, now we are something like what I've said. Is it clear that the type of history syllabus is influenced by the aims? And if I'm breaking it down, we have the philosophy, the vision, the mission, and then the specific aims or the rationales for teaching the subject. So all these ones are related. So let's dive a bit deeper by way of introduction. So this presentation examines the types of history syllabus and highlights its advantages and disadvantages. Every type of history syllabus has its advantages as well as its disadvantages. And we'll look at a few of them. We'll also look at the different types of syllabus and why it is developed. When we are developing a syllabus, right, we take into consideration certain concepts. We consider the nature of the subject, in our case, history. So we consider the nature of history, the aims of teaching history, systematic development of historical thinking, the appropriateness of the syllabus in relation to learners' ability. So all these concepts are taken into consideration before we decide on the type of syllabus that we want to develop. The design of the syllabus, however, is one of the controversial areas in course design, because decisions have to be made in relation to, one, the structure of the units, the methodology used to convey the content, the format, the presentation, assessment of the content, etc. And you see that curriculum development, the stakeholders or the people that come together to draft the curriculum, each group has its own interest. There is government who has an agenda to push. Presentation of civil society, NGOs that are into education. All these groups come with their own agenda, their own thinking about how a curriculum ought to be designed. And all these people's, their views have to be harnessed and streamlined, right? And all of them have to agree on the type of syllabus and what ought to be contained in the syllabus. That's why I would say it is a bit controversial, because there are differences in content, theoretical grounding of various types of syllabus. And then we need to find a common place that is acceptable to all these stakeholders in education, and it's not an easy task at all. And then the teacher or the people that are involved in the designing of the syllabus have to be familiar with the types of syllabus that there are, do a critical analysis of the pros and cons of any type that is chosen, and then we have to try and find a common ground that is acceptable to all. Are we clear? Please give me a feedback from the message box.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For me to know that you are with me.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Please give me feedback so that I know that you are with me. Hello.
Hello, doctor.
Today. Please, are you following? Have you followed up to this point?
Yes, please, yes, doctor.
Okay. Is there any question?
No, please.
Is there any question?
No question, doc.
Hello? Is there any question?
Doctor? No, please.
No, please.
Okay. So,
Hello, sir.
None of your function.
Hello, doc.
My boss, he can't hear you. So we should always start from the chat box so that he can read from there from us. He's the only way we can reach him.
I think it's ratified now. I can hear you loud and clear now.
Okay,
all
then
right,
we give
doctor.
glory to
All right.
God.
That's great.
Yeah, Semo. So to this point, you see that I keep using curriculum and syllabus interchangeably. Can you help us understand what we say a curriculum? How is it different from the syllabus? Hello? Can you hear my question?
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, tell
Hello.
me
The curriculum is a...
Yeah, hello. I think who's talking, Margaret?
Yes, sir.
Please, let's hear you.
Oh, okay, Lizzie is talking, so Lizzie, finish and I'll come. Lizzie,
the curriculum is a general framework that is designed. It's a general framework designed for teaching of social studies or maybe any other subject. So it is through the curriculum that the syllabus is also designed based on the curriculum that the syllabus is designed.
So the reason why you say the general framework, what do you mean?
It is a worldwide document that is used.
A worldwide document.
It is not just here.
Okay. Margaret.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If
I understand, curriculum is a program or processes that need to be covered, a program or a project that needs to be covered or that should be undertaken by an institution, educational institution that teachers and students must pass through. So that means a program of activities that is being designed for educational institutions for teachers and learners to undergo.
Okay.
And the syllabus is the content, the outline of topics that must be covered by educational institution. So I mean the syllabus is a subset of curriculum, meaning that the curriculum is a broad term, and the syllabus is in a small and the subset of the curriculum.
Okay. Cindy, I think your hand is up. Cindy.
Sir. So the curriculum, I have to build on what they've already said. So I will talk about curriculum as it's been developed by educators, or could be an administrator, and sometimes by subject matter experts.
Okay.
Which provide a broad framework for teaching and learning.
Okay.
Whereas the syllabus are also developed by instructor for teaching a course. And sometimes it provides as a basis for students to follow throughout the course to achieve the objectives that have been set for a particular course of study. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear from Emil this time? Let's hear from Emil.
Hello, Doc.
To
me.
Amos, we are listening. Amos, we are listening. No, Azuma, sorry. Azuma. I think we lost Azuma. Somebody else. Was some Azuma, we lost you. Couldn't hear you.
Yes, maybe it's the network. Is it clear now?
Can you please try again? Hello? Anybody else? Hello? Divine.
Mr. Sempa has raised his hand.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, hello, Doc.
Emma, go ahead.
So to me, I think whatever is spelled out in a curriculum can be spelled out in the syllabus as well. And so to me, the curriculum and the syllabus, they are just the same things.
Okay. Emma says that he does not see any difference between the curriculum and the syllabus, because the same content that is in the curriculum is also in the syllabus. He doesn't see any difference. Is there somebody who sees a difference? Yeah,
Yeah, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm listening.
The curriculum covers the activities that goes on in the school, and the syllabus is the particular subjects of that sort. Wow.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So in Ghana, which one is the curriculum, which one is the syllabus? Did you hear my question? In a particular case of history, yes, Josephine Amegasi.
Sir,
Yes,
I think the curriculum is broad content, but the syllabus is specific.
Okay, thank you. But I'm saying that in our Ghanaian context, which document is the curriculum, which one is the syllabus? Ewa watching. Ewa.
Say, say, please. I'm here, but
But what? You are breastfeeding your child.
yeah.
Yeah, Semo. I said that in our contest, in our Ghanaian contest, which one is the Ashika?
Say, say before the new curriculum was introduced,
Okay.
we used to know the syllabus to be a document that entails the lessons, the content, the units, and all that the course is supposed to cover within a specific period of time.
Okay.
And before and now that they have introduced the new curriculum, they have taken off the syllabus and brought the curriculum, which serves as what the syllabus used to serve. So in the curriculum right now, it states the particular topics, the aspects, the units, and all the activities that are supposed to be covered with regards to a particular subject.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Is the name Ashika?
Yes, sir.
As I pronounce it properly. Okay.
It's Ashika.
What?
Ashika.
Ashika.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Ashika. We are learning. Thank you. Any other view? Is it Nora?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I also see the syllabus and then the curriculum to be the same thing. Because just like Ashika said, we used
Yeah.
to have the syllabus. And the work that the syllabus was doing is the same thing the curriculum is doing now, currently. So
Okay.
I see it as maybe a change of name, but the work both of them do seems to be the same. Or
Okay.
maybe in some countries it is called the syllabus, and then in other countries it's the curriculum.
I think you nailed it.
The two, yeah. Thank
You
you.
nailed it. Thank you too. So technically, the curriculum is supposed to be the broad document that captures the philosophy, the mission, the ideology, all the experiences that a child is expected to have as far as a particular subject domain is concerned. Right? So it's everything, the content, the methods, the philosophies, the tables of how do you even call these things? When we weigh the various contents and we say that okay, this is record, this is this, I've forgotten the name. Each has all that
Table of content.
is contained in the curriculum. Is that what?
Table of content.
Hello?
Is it table of contents?
No, it's not a table of content. I'm talking about where
Profile dimension. Profile dimension.
profile dimension. That is it. That is it. Okay. So everything concern all the experiences, right, that has been planned for a particular subject domain. Then the syllabus, in our case, narrowed down specifically to the content, as in the various, in our case now, we say the strands and the sub-strands that have been treated, right? Student activities, exemplars, resources, lesson indicators, that aspect that has to do specifically with content and how it's supposed to be delivered were captured in the syllabus. So the syllabus was something like, it's synonymous, was in this case synonymous to the table of content. However, it went a bit beyond that to tell us why we are teaching the subject, how we are going to assess it, how we are supposed to go about it, and everything. That was a syllabus. So that was an extension, right? So it's like the mother set and the subset ideology that we talked about. So we say that the syllabus is an outline or a summary of topics to be covered in an educational or training course. So the content or the subject to be taught. A plan showing the subject or the books to be studied in a particular course. Essentially a course which leads to an examination. Are we clear? So we say the syllabus describes design as a compilations of the decisions regarding a unit and their specific sequence of performance. A well-written syllabus could provide a doorway into the pedagogical beliefs of the teacher or the course designers. If we see how the subjects have been arranged, right, the types of exemplars that have been used, Obapa, please, thank you. So that is the syllabus. It is narrowed down to the content and how it has to be taught. And I'm saying that if we study the content, it also gives us an idea as to the beliefs of those who drafted the document and what is expected of us. Nora, I think your hand is up.
I think the old
Nora.
one. Sorry.
Is an old one. Okay,
Sorry,
thank
the
you.
old one. Yeah.
Okay, so that is for a syllabus. So we said that Richard distinguished a difference in the scope in the UK. So in the UK, there's a clear distinction between the curriculum and then the syllabus. They call the curriculum as the big picture. And the big picture incorporates one, the course planning, the materials and methods, course evaluation. And then some say, historically, because grammar-centric teaching has become commonplace, become so popular, the syllabus design was simply the order of the grammar points that will be taught within the framework of the curriculum. However, as I said, that Nora had hit the nail on the head. In the United we say curriculum refers to the syllabus. So we say syllabus refers to the curriculum because you can find everything that you need as far as the curriculum is concerned from our document that we call the curriculum. And then our syllabus too is from the same document. So the document that NACA has produced and we use is the curriculum and at the same time our syllabus. So there's no distinction now between the two. Are we clear?
Very clear, sir.
Okay. So why do we think that it is important for us to have a syllabus? Now I want written feedback. Give me some of the reasons that you think is important for us to have a syllabus. Go to the text box and give me some. I say type. I want to read something. Patrick. Patrick,
Sir.
Your hand is raised.
Sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I said syllabus serve as a guide to the teacher, because sometimes you draw out and outline certain topics that you're supposed to cover within the period, and also sometimes when you are drawing up the forecasts, you use the syllabus as a guide. So if the syllabus is not there, it will be very difficult to even draw up your plan. That is,
okay. So Patrick is by saying that the syllabus is like a signpost that directs our lesson development as well as delivery. Without that, most of us will deviate and will talk about things that may not be important. Same day.
So the syllabus also.
Hello.
So the syllabus also serve as an element of uniformity across a school or a country or in educational system, so that, as you said, it will serve as a guide so that we know what we are all doing at the same time.
Okay. So without the syllabus, those in, let's say, Cape Coast will be doing something different from those in Accra, and even within the same region will have differences as far as schools are concerned. But teachers will teach what they think they are comfortable with, and therefore assessment might become difficult. That is the point that has been made by Cindy. So Isaac Nanakusi says it ensures uniformity. Emmanuel Asempa says the syllabus break down the units into to be covered in a year as well as in a term. That's a very good point. The syllabus aligns the learning outcomes and assessment. Yes, that is also true. The syllabus helps the teacher to prepare teaching and learning resources. That word, if you are saying you have to take your term, TLRs, teaching and learning resources. The syllabus helps the instructor to identify specific methods in delivery. That is also true. The syllabus gives both teachers and learners a clear structure of what topics will be covered. So we all know that, okay, we are doing Peopling of Ghana. From that, we are going to post-independence and what have you. So yes, give us some structure of what to be covered. The syllabus serves as a roadmap for teachers. I think the same point. It organizes the learning environment for smooth transitions. That is true. The syllabus supports curriculum implementation. It helps in assessment methods. I think you're all right. Hey, next time I draw curriculum, you have a family in Amayako. Why? Say more there. Hello.
Hi. Yes, sir. We are in town. We are in town.
Mrs. I have a family draw curriculum. Say more there.
Very necessary.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
next time.
So it's the same thing. It breaks down history into manageable units. We say manageable units because there are some topics that are very broad, and therefore we can break it down into small bits so that learning becomes easier. And then it also provides the basis for textbook writers, provide teachers and learning with moral support. So when you look at the syllabus, you know that, oh, the syllabus contains, let's say, 13 topics. I have done 7. Once I've done 7, I'm left with how many?
5.
Hello?
6.
6.
Yes, sir.
And I've done 7. So it's left how much? 6.
6.
So I'll give you some more. Oh, and maybe so that you can go.
6.
Right. At times, if we start the term and look at the content that you have to cover, when you wake up and you are going to school, you are down because you know you have so much to cover. But as you keep counting it down, you are happy, you are excited that, oh, I've covered a large portion of it. And what is the remainder to I'll be able to clear it within a given time. So we'll give you some moral support. We say it ensures students to assure students and or their sponsor that the course has been well planned. We say its cosmetic role to give both the students and the teachers an idea of where the course is going. Is it with very, let's say, educated-minded parents? They will look at the course content to see whether it is something that will be beneficial to the development of their watch or not. If they look at the content and all that they are saying, or all that is the content, it doesn't see how it will translate into the realities of the child. And the teacher says, oh, of course, I'm this course that my child is going to do is useless. But I say it is cosmetic. Why do you think I say that it is cosmetic? Hello? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you
Hello.
think that I say the course outline may be cosmetic?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Why am I doing cosmetic, Elizabeth?
Cosmetic.
Yeah.
The word cosmetic is. That's what I don't get it.
Are you not a woman? Are you not who use cosmetics?
Oh, okay. Is that term that you are referring to? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Your points and eyelashes that you use to deceive us.
Okay. They are cosmetics.
And name is what Ben name black and white spot. No, we choose the name out. So come on. Unas they will be a koye.
No fair.
And
one must all your courage. You could now. Only the Quakan we are coffee now over the Nimba. Hey, yes, too. So it's cosmetic.
It's related to the world. The world.
This is if you don't open your eyes, you drop things. So from their face to their boobs to their back, everything is fake. As a man.
Hey,
it is true. It is true. They are fake.
All of you are mature people. That's what I'm teaching you. You are not small people. If I look at some of your pictures, hey,
that's right.
So you can take this. It's cosmetics. Why do I say the syllabus is cosmetic?
It spices the teaching.
Now you understand what I mean by cosmetic.
Yes.
Sally.
Hello, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Lizzie, are you done?
Please, when we say,
Sally, go ahead.
believe that
yes,
when we say cosmetic, making it attractive or beautiful for the students to comprehend whatever is being taught.
That's true.
You make it beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
You make the parent or the child believe that you are going to teach them some interesting and exciting things. There are some of you, what week are you in now? What week are you in now? Those teaching at the senior high school.
So this is
hello.
Interlude.
This is what? Is that? Hello.
The question again.
I said, which week are you in now?
The question again.
What week in your school? What week are you in now?
In the 7th week. 8th week.
Week 7.
So we are going to week 8.
Okay, so you are going to week 8.
Yes.
Some of you.
No, that's for the junior high. Saying the SHS.
Let's take that one for now. It's okay.
Very beautiful.
The point I'm trying to make is that you are in week 7.
Structure and
but most of you,
how
you have not even covered up to
highlighted the program.
Allah, Patrick. Patrick, I'm listening. Patrick, I'm listening. Okay, I think we lost Patrick. What I'm saying is that we
can't hear him properly.
Okay, it's okay. We are in week 7, but most of you have not taught what is expected even up to week 3 or week 4. But if we take the syllabus, we can count the number of strands and sub-strands that you're supposed to have covered. Have not even covered up to week 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, maybe the university will give course outline. Very detailed course outline.
I mean, the 10th week.
The lecture will not come for lectures. When he comes, and then we'll be
the 10th week.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Okay, thank you. We can hear you.
I am in the 10th week. 10th.
He has only covered up to week 2.
Week 10.
We've heard you. Thank you, Patrick. So that is what we mean by cosmetic, right? If you give an impression that you cover so much or you cover so much, but in reality you do so little. So it can be cosmetic. So to act as an implicit statement of the views held by the course designers, or we see how the topics have been arranged, how they have been serialized, we have an idea as to the thinking or what the people that plan the syllabus think are important to our learners. I don't want to go into details so much, but when we get there, I will explain further. So say regarding history, education, and learning, telling students not only what they are going to learn, but why, to guide the selections of material, texts, and exercises.
Oh, I said
right?
that.
Now you say,
so I said I'm
indicator.
10 because
Hello?
We have the intervention plan. That will do.
Oh, Patrick, we've moved past that. I think probably your network is a bit delayed. Yes, but we heard you. Mavis Ado, your hand is raised.
Yes, sir.
Mavis.
Sir.
Yes.
Please, my is you talking about the curriculum being a cosmetics. I wanted to ask whether if the curriculum planners plan the curriculum very well, by implementation, maybe the items that will help the teacher implement it well is also not provided. Can we also call that part as cosmetic?
Yes, and I'm going to add a bit. You have planned the syllabus, give me examples, go and download pictures from the internet. Let students discuss the various definitions of history by various scholars, hereditary tools, why. Now, why is it going to go in these pictures? So when you look at the syllabus, you see that it's very interactive, right? But in reality, we won't do it. Now, I can do on the internet, right? So make it cosmetic. We are going to use interactive whiteboard simulations to teach students this and that. Those are the examples that are in the syllabus. Okay. They are lying on their belly and writing. Is it internet there? We don't have it. So if you look at the content, very impressive, but in reality, none of that will happen in our classrooms. Then it's cosmetic. So the intended learning outcomes will not be achieved. Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So what I'm saying here is that it tells the learners why it is important to learn certain things and the resource that they will need as well as the exercises that they'll be engaged in. And I was trying to draw the relationship between the lesson indicator and then the content standards, as well as specific competencies that the learner is supposed to exhibit. And I can say critical thinking, collaboration, what again? Language skills. But in reality,
collaborative, communication.
Every the teacher doesn't know how to plan his activities to ensure that learners collaborate. Creativity. So usually what I do is that I take notice of all those core competences. And after you are done with your teaching, I ask you, what specific activities did you do in your lesson to ensure
Patrick, please mute for us.
What activities
feedback.
You think?
What is wrong with Patrick? With him?
Okay, I think probably he heard us. So I usually will ask, what specific activities did you implement in your lesson to develop students' communicative skills? What specific ones you think would help the child develop creativity? Just a minute, the monitor is calling me. Let me attend to her, and then I'll get back to you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, there are a series of activities that you are supposed to engage the student in, so that those core competencies that you have written beautifully in your lesson plan will be achieved. But when we are drawing our lesson plans, or when we download our lesson plans, now we just download the lesson plans and we take it to class. We just look at the lesson indicators and then we browse through some of the examples and we are done. So when you ask him, what are the core competencies? He said B plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Hey, what does that mean? He said it was in the lesson, it was in the syllabus. What does that mean? So once you don't know what you are supposed to achieve by the end of the lesson, you cannot plan the activities that will help you to achieve that. So the thing is there beautifully, but implementation will make the whole process nonsense because it will not achieve anything. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Yes, sir.
So you need to familiarize yourself with the syllabus so that you have the mindset of those that planned the lesson or the substrate that they are going to teach. They have given you examples of how to go about it, right? But it is your duty as a teacher to select which ones you think are appropriate given your context where you are, and at times to improvise if there's a need to. Is it clear? And at this point, you made it clear to ensure an element of uniformity across schools. That one is okay. And to assess how successful a student has been during a course by providing a basis for testing. Because there's a syllabus, we can have a common denominator where we can find out what the student learned in the course of, let's say, a semester, or let's say a period, or even a lesson. Are we clear to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Doc.
Hello.
Yes.
These these are some of the purposes why it is important for us to develop or to have a syllabus. Is there any question to this point? Hello?
So, sir. Hello, sir.
Is there any question? Okay.
Sir.
So,
yeah,
bear
sir.
in mind
Hello,
the purpose.
hello, sir.
Patrick, we can hear you. Yes, Patrick.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Patrick, I can hear you.
Sir, you talk about some of the competencies that the teacher need to incorporate when you are preparing you are preparing the syllabus. In this case, if I want to, let's say, my student to develop or exhibit critical thinking skills, what are some of the strategies that I want so that it will help the student to come out by maybe critique or be able to?
Yes, I got your lesson. The point I'm making is that
yes.
Patrick, I've gotten your question, so you don't worry. The point we're making was that the purpose, right, of the syllabus is to we say that tell the students not only what they are going to learn, but why. To guide the selections of material.
Hey, Madam Doris.
Doris. Doris, please mute yourself. Doris, please mute. The point we are making is this, that they
Doc, please,
Sally.
it was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay. The point you're making is this, that the learners have to know the essence of the syllabus that has been planned. And you, the teacher, you are going to enact the syllabus in the classroom. So I was trying to draw a relationship between what has been planned in a syllabus and how the teacher is able to implement it in the classroom. And I was using my experiences of reviewing some lesson plans of teachers, where they state core competencies that have to be achieved at the end of the lesson. But when you look at the specific activities that they will do in the lesson, it does not. Doris, please mute yourself.
Doris is far from her phone.
She
is far from her phone, so she can't hear what Doc is saying.
Where is she herself?
So the point you are making is this. Let's try and follow. Is that you should be mindful of the activity Hello. Hello.
I think
I said when we are doing methods copy.
Just go ahead.
Yes, I went off. I'm aware. The point I'm making is that when we go into methods properly, we'll look at how to draft the lesson plan. Then we'll see examples of activities that we do that would engender or induce critical thinking. But just to answer Patrick, you need to engage in problem solving activities in the classroom. And those are the ones that usually engender critical thinking in the classroom, right? So the activities that you do would either engender critical thinking or not. If everything is just recall or explanation, right, that doesn't engender critical thinking. You need to give the students the ability to apply some of the knowledge that they have acquired to solve a problem. That is critical thinking. Are we clear? So now let's move ahead and look at the types of history syllabus. So in history, there are 5 major types of the history syllabus. We have what we call as the chronological syllabus. Another is the line of development syllabus. We have the patch syllabus. We have the syllabus containing special periods and outlines. And then we have the cyclical syllabus. Each of these syllabuses has their own advantages as well as disadvantages. And we'll look at them one after the other. So the first we are considering is the chronological syllabus. When you hear chronological syllabus or chronology, what comes to mind? When you hear chronology, what comes to mind?
Arrangement. A form of arrangement.
Emmanuel.
Or in
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Emmanuel, just raise your hand so I call you.
Yeah. The chronology talks about arrangement or order or sequence of something. Yes.
Yes. So the arrangement, the order or sequence of something. Yes. Emmanuel, thank you. Any other view? Hello?
Yeah, I think.
Any other view? Yeah, Elizabeth, go ahead.
Oh, so he has used all the terms.
All the words have been used.
Yes.
Yes. So you can say the manner in which some event or activities or something has been arranged. Right. And usually if it's arranged according to some time, either some periodization, that is, they have been arranged serially, right? Then we say it's chronology. So having that in mind, what do you think is a chronological syllabus? We say time, we say order, we say sequence. So what kind of syllabus? Yes, Patrick. Patrick, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
It's a summary of all topics that have been arranged from maybe simple to complex or arranged in such a way that it will start from, let's say, the primary level to the secondary level. It will help the teacher to be able to decipher the topic that are so on topic that are not.
Yeah, I think Patrick's network is failing him, but essentially he has said what we have to hear. What he's saying is that there is a syllabus that contains topics that have been arranged in a particular time order. And he used an example from simple to complex, from, let's say, ancient to modern times. So one follows the other. It follows the manner or the time period in which these events occurred. Are we clear? We will say it is chronology. So in educational system, we say early childhood, primary education, secondary education, tertiary education. That is our order, our chronology, as far as education is concerned. if we are talking about Ghana's history, you can start from post-independence, pre-independence, independence, and post-independence. They are following a particular time order.
Please speak.
Hello. So,
Hi, doctor.
hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? So we are saying that the chronological syllabus follows a particular time order, and that is correct. We say chronological syllabus is made up of content that are selected and arranged according to the time sequence. Events are treated according to the time they occurred, right? So, Basi says this syllabus is used when describing the history of a country. When you are describing the history of a country, like as I said, the history of Ghana, you can talk about pre-independence, independence, post-independence, right? And then some can even talk about Ghana in contemporary times, right? That is the order that it follows. But you say we are describing the history of the country. What kind of aim, or what do you think will be the philosophical underpinnings of this chronological syllabus? Given that we say it is used to describe the history of the country. What kind of aims? I haven't looked at your assignment yet. Most of you have not sent it. I've only received about 2 or 3.
It may be romanticized theory.
It's a romanticized theory.
Create sort of love.
Yes. And Patrick is right. Or is who? Was Patrick right? Who just spoke? Doris. Doris Asante, mute yourself.
It was Patrick said.
It was Patrick, okay.
Doris friends should call her.
So
those who know Doris, please call her and tell her that the phone is disturbing.
Okay. So yes, it is romanticized because it's like the history of a country. There has been synthesized, overly glorified to paint an almost perfect image of a country. And that is how countries' histories are crafted. Right? We make it look as if everything that happened in the past was something that was good. So it is underpinned by the romanticized. Right? So we say that the Saskatchewan Ghanaians national sport from 1939 to 1940 World War was a remote cause of 1948 route. Right. So we are following a particular sequence. When we're talking about why people were agitated, they say they want independence. We start from the World War II. Then we marshaled, we manned up, we joined you in the battle. We fought. When we fought, you realized that your insecurities, that the white man was not any superior to the black man, not by physique, not by weaponry. So when they came back, they say, okay, you promised us so much that you integrate us into the army, you give us some emoluments. Now give it to us. And they told them it's in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline. We are working on it. It will come. To the point that they felt that enough was enough. Then they wanted to submit a simple petition, and what they got was gunshots. And they felt that enough was enough. But you see, this is not the only cause of our struggle for independence. Long before World War I, people have resisted colonial rule. We had chiefs, we have individuals, we have women who have kicked against our subjugation by an imperial power. Right? Obviously, there were others who were also benefiting from the colonial imperialism and therefore also support their stay and continuous stay in Ghana. But once we are trying to pin it to a particular cause, all those perspectives will not show. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes, yes.
So we say the syllabus is used for both the general and specific aspect of history, such as economics, social, and political. When we're talking about economic matters, you usually want to follow a time sequence. Okay, so in 1970, this was our GDP. 1988, this was our GDP. 1990, this was our GDP. 20th and 2000, this was our GDP. In the first century, this was, and we make those comparisons. It's chronology. Chronology is following a particular time sequence. And we can do the same with politics, with our social lives, etc. We say without chronological skills, if you don't know the times that we are talking about, if you cannot appreciate the different perspectives that came about as a result of development that occurred within time, it becomes very difficult for us to appreciate the changes that we are talking about, right? There are a lot of people that now these days we take the freedom that we have as a sovereign, they take it for granted. Because they are not in the 1980s, 1990s, the 2000s. We have always been free people. But those that are old enough, that were older, a bit older, before we attained independence, they know the kind of suffering and anguish that they've been through. People who have traveled to countries that they are still suffering the adverse effect of colonialism, or they are in their own countries but they are treated as second-class citizens, they would appreciate freedom. And when I say freedom, I mean independence, true independence. That is why we'll be happy to be clapping for leadership in Burkina Faso, because we think that they've done something spectacular. It always starts like that. Revolutionaries always start like that. They will do development, they will do things that will clap for them, but give them time. Time will tell. Are you following the argument?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, sir.
So when people are excited, me, I'm not excited. Read our history. It has always been like that. When they come from the barracks, right? They come with so much energy. They want to change things around, but give them time. That's all I would say. Give them time.
But for the time being, we can all be happy. Before, if the time changes, we can frown.
I said give them time. We should be guided by our history. Give them time.
I am also saying that by this time we can all be laughing. When the bad times come, we frown.
Okay. So chronology serves as a mental structure that regulates historical thinking, because you are following a particular time sequence. First year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. Like your own transcript. If you want to see how you are performing, look at your transcript. Semester by semester or trimester by trimester, and see whether you are progressing, retrogressing, or stagnating. Right? So it gives you some mental structure. And the prerequisite for developing these skills is teaching the concept of time, day, month, year, a period, an age, a century, right? Have an idea about calendar types. What was it, AD? What is AD? Patrick, or the old one?
After
what is AD? What is AD?
Another name or after.
Hello.
After the death of Christ.
After death.
After the death of Christ. That was what we were told. Who else? Ima, your hand was also up.
Yes, I was about saying the same thing as after the death of Christ. That is what we all know.
But you haven't heard about Anno Domini.
Yeah, we've heard of the Anno Domini as well.
What about BC?
Before the birth of Christ, perhaps.
What's the alternative? The alternative is what we term as common era.
The alternative is what?
Before common era.
What?
Anno Domini. Anno Domini. So we say before common era. So all these are a concept of time. 19th century, 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, and I would say we are in 21st century. So even the century that you were born in, right, give somebody an idea as to the kind of thinking that you may have when we bring it to our own native language. We say some people were born in Bejimimbre. Those that understand tree. They were born in Bejimi. Bejimi. Embre. The closest I can translate that is that we were born in a period of foolishness or naiveness.
Oh.
Right? So we say our parents were born in the Bejimimbre. Oh, Mibra. Oh, that. That means we go see with Jay. Oh, the man for me, and me go catch them wine. Hey, listen, no, I'm dying. No, they say that is Bejimimbre. And then if you beat a woman over their self, so the men, you don't beat them now. You press their mouth or you hit their buttocks. If they report the police, man, they say, but your husband is playing with you. Right? In this era, we say, I know my rights. Right? So this one now we say, so we have moved from the Bejimimbre to Enibre era. As to whether that is true or not, is a subject for another day's discussion. People that say they are enlightened, yet they will drink pure water and put on the ground. People that they say are enlightened, and then they don't even want to go to their hometowns because they are afraid that witches and wizards in their hometowns would kill them. So their children cannot even speak their mother tongues. They speak English. And we call that NEBA. We can't even express ourselves properly in the English language too. But we say so the YX syllabus, what used to be called the YX syllabus, which I hope they will change, and I know they are changing, follow this chronological syllabus. So we start from archaic period to ancient civilization, then medieval period. Now we come to the modern period. We come to the contemporary time. You see how I have laid out the course of history from the prehistoric to the ancient civilization, the classicals, to the medieval period, then to the modern period. Now we are in the contemporary era. That is chronology. Any question to this point?
Sir, no question.
So you understand what we mean by the chronological syllabus now?
Sir.
It follows a particular time period, and the events are aligned according to the time that they occurred.
Yes, sir.
So the ones that are older comes first before the ones that are recent or contemporary, right? What do you think would be the advantages of this kind of syllabus? Hello?
Yes,
now
sir.
don't talk to me. Type, let me see. What do you think are some of the advantages of this kind of syllabus? Go to the message board and give me some feedback. I say type. Don't call me. Type. I want written feedback. Hello? Type. A syllabus that follows a particular time period. What do you think are some of the advantages of this kind of syllabus? I'm waiting.
All right.
Munkanche Patrick say me on type you. No, they can hear. So Sylvester, let me see. So Sylvester says it helps in referencing. Yeah, so you can refer to a particular time order that, okay, in 1982, this happened. In 1999, that happened. They say it provides an orderly presentation of events. That is from Mavis Ado. That's good. Duaba. Babamu. He says encourage connections between the past and the present. Okay, that's good. Sarah Dansu says a sense of time and sequence. Give it a sense of time and sequence. That's okay. Adasco Clement says it is convenient to use. Adasco, are you sure that it's convenient to use? Josephine says it enables topics to be treated in a manner in which they occur. That is okay. Lydia Arthur says it helps in analytical thinking. Then Emmanuel Asempa says it gives the learner the full scope of the country's history from the past to the present. Emmanuel, well done. Then Nana Ejewa says it gives in-depth knowledge to students. Let's take the last two, and then we can. Last two. Patrick, please type. We can't hear you. Patrick, type. I'm waiting for the last two. We are almost 60 people on the page. So two more. Won't you be baby? Go and write something so that at least we know that you're also here. The name I think is Duaba Babamu. If I've crucified your name, you can ecological. It is very scholarly. Ecological syllabus builds and Babamu, are you correcting me on your name?
Yes, please. It's Babamu.
Dauda Babamu Yakubu.
Hey.
Dauda. Yes, Dauda. Okay.
Okay, thank you. For parents, that is good. It is easy for learners to understand since one activity follows the other, and they will know why current events happen. That's very, very good. The Lydiata says it helps in appreciating the complexity and revolution of historical events. And Patrick finally says that it will simplify the lesson and allow students to take part in it, to partake in it. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As a quiz, now. Sure. So we say it promotes understanding of how the present conditions of a country came about. And I think it's the same as what you expressed. It gives an in-depth knowledge to students rather than a superficial study of the subject, because you are starting from the very beginning, very genesis, and tracing it through time. So give them some comprehensive understanding of history. We say it is convenient. It enables topics to be treated in the manner in which you occur. I think somebody just said it as it is there. So the disadvantages is that it does not satisfy the psychological or the pedagogical needs of students, since all historical periods, be it ancient, medieval, or modern, have their aspects. Let me explain this point. Because we are following a particular storyline, we don't take into consideration the interest of the learner. Hello? Because certain aspects of our history, modern students may not relate. Hello?
Hi, sir.
So people say that in drafting the syllabus, we should do away with our prehistory. Because even this historic era, when we started writing, there is so much to be covered. So why do we bother ourselves to consider periods that there were no writing, and there is little evidence of what we say then, which students cannot relate to, right? Even if we are limiting ourselves, let's say, if it's Ghana's history, and want to start from, let's say, 1992, there is so much to be covered. So why should we talk about the Nkrumah where people don't care about the Nkrumah and can't even relate to his philosophies and ideology? Now, our philosophy is bread and butter. What put food on the table? That is our philosophy. Do you get it? So it's like trying to talk to, I don't know, do you often talk to your grandparents? Hello?
We don't have.
All your grandparents are, they have died. You didn't meet them.
Long ago.
At least your
they don't have this time. They are almost all gone.
Okay, so let's say your parents, especially your mothers. If you try to have a conversation with your mother.
Sir, we've been talking to our grandparents.
Okay. No, you are fortunate, so you can talk to your grandparents. Most probably will have lost their grandparents by now. But your parents are there, especially your mother. When I'm talking to my mother, then she's trying to tell me the names of some people and their family and show me how the people she's talking about, I don't know. And it's a kofia, if you when you mutintenda, it gets a boo na name so Uncle Kwabedu. I don't know any of those people that he's talking about. But I think that the name that he's mentioning should help me understand what he's trying to talk about. So I only indulge her. Okay. All those things, I have no idea what he's talking about. Go straight to the point. Now, if I want direction to my family house, what is the best thing that I need? A live location. Move I'm sending a live location. Fadobra. Neja na mo fie, ne kwenye mtenten la, your friend then, eja kwa beduni fie, na friend sabani mo. Ebe, I can't relate. Do you get it? So there are certain aspects of our history which learners of today cannot relate. So if we go and trace that long history, right, we don't take into the consideration the needs, what the learner today, what he needs. But we are interested in presenting the narrative, the way that it happened. Yes, you get a complete understanding, but a lot of information that is given or that is learned might not be relatable or might not address the current needs of the current learner. So that is a disadvantage of the chronological syllabus. We say it limits the development of history in the development of a single nation as if that nation developed in isolation. Because we are tracing a history from a long time period, we won't have the luxury of time to look at how the development of other nations impacted on the development of ours. Let's say Ghana's development. Ghana's development was linked to the development of other African countries or even other worlds. You know, Nkrumah was in the US. Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Hi.
Yes. Others argue that it was the civil rights activism in the US, which Nkrumah experienced and was part of, that gave him the energy to come back home and fight for our independence. If you want to understand our independence, we should also understand the civil rights movement of the US. Right? But if we are tracing our own history from the prehistoric era to the ancient Ghana, to Guatemalan Empire, to the peopling of Ghana, the Akans coming, the Guans coming, the Akans coming, last babies are the Evers. Before we talk about colonial rule, and then the various governors that came and what they did, what time would we have to talk about civil rights movement? And you see, when we are struggling for independence, other African countries are also going through similar challenges, and we join forces. But because we are tracing all those history, we can't see the relationship between all these countries and their struggles and how it impacted ours. So it's as if we develop in isolation. And therefore, yes, we have detailed knowledge about our country, but we lack knowledge about our neighboring countries. Can you think of any other disadvantage of the chronological syllabus? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Doc.
Aside
Yes,
these
sir.
two that I mentioned, can you think about any other disadvantages?
Yes. I may say that it's may seek to load the learners with a lot of information, since the syllabus tries to cover events in their chronology. Then there will be a lot for the learners to learn.
And then in the case of the teacher, there will be a lot of content to teach, which often
to be taught. Yes.
Yeah, to superficial teaching. Okay, that's good. Any other? Any other? Elizabeth, are you talking to me? Hello? Elizabeth?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm not talking. No. I'm not talking.
You're not talking. Talk.
I'm
I
not
want you to
talking.
talk.
Yes, please.
Yes, Clement.
Yes, Doc. I would
Yes,
say
go ahead.
it is time consuming.
Very good. It is time consuming because the content is very broad, and therefore we need a lot of instructional time. And these days we don't have a lot of instructional time because there are many subjects competing for the same time, and therefore becomes difficult to complete the syllabus. Okay, I think that is good. So I think now you understand what we mean by the chronological syllabus very well. Are we clear? Can we make progress?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next that we are looking at is what we term as the line development syllabus. The line of development syllabus. The line of development syllabus. We say this type of syllabus teases out different aspects of life in the past and trace their development in a series of separate studies. I take it again. This type of syllabus teases out different aspects of life in the past and traces their development in a series of separate. That's what we say, line of development syllabus. Are we clear? Hello?
You were off, so we couldn't hear you.
No. Thank you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that the line of development syllabus, it selects certain topics that they think, or the curriculum planners think, or syllabus planners think that learners will be interested in, that responds to the needs of the learners, right? And traces their development across time. So there is some sequence, but it is not a holistic study of the past, like in the chronological studies. But he selects topics that he thinks students will be interested in, that he thinks responds to the needs of the learners, and traces it over time. That's why we say line of development syllabus. Am I clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. So if you pick something like transportation or communication or trade, that aspect is what they will find out through time, how it has shaped or how it has changed or remained the same over the course of time. Are you clear? So we said the essence basis of this syllabus is that different aspects of people's life are studied chronologically, but in isolation from ancient to the present. So when we are talking about transportation, we are not talking about, let's say, communication. It is transportation that we'll see how it started in the past, that people will have when they wanted to, let's say, travel from one place to the other, they have to walk. And then they had specific places that they want to rest. If you ask them, okay, so from Mankesim to Cape Coast, what is the distance? You say it is 10 rest. Meaning that if you want to go from Mankesim to Cape Coast, you would at least rest 10 times before you get to Cape Coast. Are we clear? If it's communication, you want to see how communication has evolved in Ghana from, let's say, the pre-colonial time to date. So we started off by writing, we're communicating originally through drums, right? Or even we set fire. Those fires will communicate to a neighboring town that there is an emergency. if you come and help.
Patrick, mute yourself.
Hello. So that was how we're communicating. We're communicating drums, we're communicating through fire. We're communicating through people's cry. That's why in the court we have a court crier. Right? Gong beaters. Then over time we had letters. And then when in the early 80s, we did recordings. So you go to a house and say, oh my comfort now, what you can do. I tape aba. I could tape no need a shame. Ungare ya won't tape in hubi. No say body. Ama my man and your maybe a bar, Babobi Shemfa. See, also the any atare. I didn't ever banner 4 years was 3 months aba. And Babano Grand Enko. So we're doing recordings. Right? And then we had this stationed what's the name? Landline. You want to make a call, you go to somebody's face, there's a handset there, then you dial. Then we had this payphones, public payphones, where you buy a snap card, you put it in, and then you talk. And then from the snap cards, you came to the mobile handset, analog. And now we are where?
Mobile.
Now where are we now?
Digital.
We are digital. We do live video conferencing.
Yeah, digital.
Right, real time. Previously, if you said that your sister is in the UK and you want to see her, hey, now we're before now. You be branded a witch. But now it is part of us. Children will say their mothers have traveled, they want to talk to them, they have to call and then give it to them for them to talk, see their mother. So this is how communication have evolved. So the line of development will tease out these things and trace it across time. That's what we say it is the line of development syllabus. The content selection will have to be filtered through the teacher's personal understanding of the instructional context, and to a large extent will depend on his experience and that of the planners as well. What are the pedagogical implications of this line of development approach? We say the line of development syllabus take into consideration, as I said, the developmental needs of the student and their abilities. So topics that we think are irrelevant, topics that we think will not add anything to the understanding of our learners and how they would use it in their real life, we take it off as an onsela here. Are we clear? We only select topics that are important, that the learners will need in their lifetime. That's what we show in the line of development syllabus. So we say it is responsive to the developmental needs of the learner. So we say, unlike the chronological syllabus that treats historical sequence, the line of development approach selects themes that the learner can easily relate to. It is that selective in nature, and it removes difficult content or topics from the syllabus. There are certain topics that you, as history teachers, you don't teach because you don't understand it. And then when the student asks you, say, oh, where the exams? Hey, why before they don't ask questions on this one? The selections of the team is guided by student pedagogical needs and ability, and not the sequence with which it occurred. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
So, just to understand that you are following, what are some of the advantages of this line of development syllabus? What are some of the advantages?
It helps teachers to do away with abstract
Yes, it helps teachers to do away with abstract topics. Okay. Emmanuel.
It satisfies that pedagogical needs of and psychological needs of learners, since themes are selected based on what the learners can relate with and then be interested in learning.
Okay. Any other? Ashika, your hand was up.
Yes, sir. I wanted to say that it caters for the recent and current needs of the students.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes into consideration the current or recent needs of the student. There was also another hand up. Hello? John?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
It helps the learners to partake in the lesson freely since their needs. It helps them to take part in the lesson freely.
Yes.
Because their needs will equally be taken care of.
Yes, learning activity is high because it is something that we know they'll be interested in. It's like when you are teaching social studies and you are teaching issues of marriage and let's say, or reproductive health. Your class will be charged because at that stage, the students are very curious about their reproductive health. And therefore, they will participate actively in any class discussion. Yes, so those are some of the advantages. Can you think about any disadvantages for the line of development? Clement.
Yes, Doc.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to give one advantage.
Okay.
That is, it does away with the abstract teaching and making learning practical.
Yes, it does away with abstract teaching and make it practical because it's something that they can relate to. So you don't have to go and memorize anything and come and tell them anything. Right? You can relate, give examples using the lived experience of the learner, and then show them how what you are teaching them will be useful in the world of work. And honestly, anytime you teach, you should spend a few minutes to tell them what you have taught them, how beneficial it will be in their real life experiences. It makes the students know the importance of what you are doing, and then their interest in a lesson develops. Okay, so now let's go flip to the other side. What do you think are some of the disadvantages? Emmanuel.
Yeah. It fails
Elizabeth,
to give.
go ahead. Iman, come, then one page, I'll listen to Elizabeth.
All right, so it fails to give the learner the full scope of the past, since it just selects themes that are of interest.
Okay, that's good. Elizabeth. Hello. Sylvester.
Sir, it is time consuming since it is activity oriented.
Oh, this will not be time consuming because we have done selection, right? So yes, will be activity selected, participation will be high, but comparing this to chronological, this is less time consuming than the chronological. Mavis.
So since it's selective in nature, teachers will become lazy in investigation in the past to get more information for the children. So they only teach what they know and ignore the rest of the history.
Yes. Okay. So Emmanuel, your hand is up again.
Yeah, I want to say that certain vital information about the past may be lost.
Yes. So some vital information about the past may be lost. All that what you are saying is true. We say ignore the true picture of the past is because it treats aspects of life out of their context. And then you can add on to that. Let's move on and look at the next one. We call it patch syllabus. The patch syllabus. When you hear patch, what comes to mind? Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
we are with you. We are with you.
Yes. I said, when you hear patch, what comes to mind? Patch.
Sir, I may say that retailed.
So go ahead. It's retailed. Okay. Maxwell.
Retailed.
Yes, Patrick, thank you. I've heard you. Retailed. Okay. Maxwell.
Yes, Doc.
Maxwell, what do you understand by patch?
Hello? Yeah, something that has to be something that has to be done like.
Maxwell, can you speak a bit? We can't hear you.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, can you speak up?
Yeah, I'm speaking. Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello. Hello, Doc.
I can't hear you. So a patch, usually when we say patch, is piece, right? A piece of something. Something that Patrick said retailed. I remember in our school days, in our primary school days, one school uniform they will sew for you. You will wear this uniform from class 1 till you finish junior high school. And then we do, after school, you go and sit on some slopey hill, and then we'll put rubber buckets. Let's say we break the rubber buckets into pieces, and then we sit on it, and then we'll slide from the top of the hill down. When you engage in those kind of play, over time, you would move away from the rubber that is supporting your butt, and then you would glide down with your shorts. Over time, you see that we have patches on your school uniform, and your parents will never buy you a new one. They will go and then they will ask either the tailor or the seamstress to patch your shorts for you. So you see patch on your school uniform, especially the shorts. And you will be in that uniform till you finish the ESS202D. Hello? Momo de Anyamiadom, Miss Kawofienti. Mamma, who squat ya tat one a chamber degree. That's a patch. Okay. Oh, school attended back on a Pamama. Would they could diagram at Wati?
Very, very nostalgic.
What I read that the mono pajama will be the piece. So that is a patch. Out the post school. So and then your man, I don't know my teacher for I am who's uncle for I am number why. Number class now. So we say this type of syllabus considers very short period of history and studies it in detail, depth, and in all aspects of life, depending on the age, understanding, and imaginative powers of the learner. So this one is not like the line of development that is throwing it, looking at the thing from let's say, the ancient to the modern. Now we are talking about a short period, but that short period, we are learning about that period in detail. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are with you, sir.
Okay, so it is not longitudinal as the line of development syllabus is. It is a short, brief period, but that period we learn in detail, right? In detail. So we say it advocates for the study of selected and much shorter periods, which are not continuous and either need not to be chronological in order. So the past syllabus is also considering is selecting from the past, but the study doesn't take it doesn't cover a longer period by a shorter period, but it is done in detail. Hello. So if they are studying
Alfred, please mute yourself. Say Alfred. Thank you.
If you are learning Ghana's history, you will not take it from the let's say, independence era to the contemporary era. No, short period, the Nkrumah era. So 7 years. And they want to learn everything about Nkrumah and his government, his successes as well as failures. And that is all that the syllabus will cover. Very comprehensive. If you want to learn about Ghana's political dispensation, they are taking it from 1992 to present. And by present, I mean 2025. Right? But we are doing a detailed study. All the periods prior to that time is not considered. It is that short period, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of the country history that is studied, but it is done in detail. Are we clear? Iman, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. The question I want to ask is, how short is this short period that we are talking about? How short could it be?
So,
At what point can we say it's no longer short?
When we are talking about the line of development, we are talking about a period of, let's say, 100 years or even more, right? 50 years, 70 years, right? Just an aspect of our history studied across time. But in patch syllabus, 4 years, maximum 10 years, period, right? But that history is studied in detail. Are we clear?
Yes, I got what I want. Maximum 10 years. Okay. Good.
Right. Yes. So very short period, but we do it in detail. So that is the patch syllabus. Very short periods, but it's done in detail. What do you think are some of the advantages of this kind of syllabus? Hello?
Hi.
Patrick.
Hello.
Yeah.
It gives in-depth knowledge to students on a particular topic.
Yeah, the teacher is able to complete
those who are
the syllabus within time. Because the time. Patrick, go ahead. Okay, we lost Patrick. Any other person? Hello? Hello? So, what we mean is that we say this type of periods consider very short period of history and study it in detail, depth, and in all aspects of life on the age understanding, and imaginative powers of the learner. It advocates for the study of selected and much shorter periods, which are not continuous and neither needs to be in a chronological order. So you can look at the same issue or concept from different periods or different time era, but he would not consider it as a continuous exercise. If we are looking at democracy, we are looking at democracy and Nkrumah, and we are looking at, let's say, 2 years into his administration. We are looking 2 years into, let's say, another prime minister, like Buzier's administration, and see how, let's say, if we are talking about civil rights, his approach to civil rights from one administration to the other, very, very short period, a year, 2, maximum 5 years across time. It doesn't even have to be continuous. That is, it doesn't have to follow chronology. So we say pedagogical applications of the patch syllabus contain patches of significant historical events with shorter period attached to the study. The shorter periods are studied in detail. Major universities, our syllabus, or in our case, our course outlines, are arranged in this manner. So we want to learn about the Nkrumah era, we want to learn about the Buzier era, we want to learn about short periods, but we'll do the study in detail. I want to talk about the successes and challenges of these governments, and then we may compare or may not compare, but our syllabus is not that longitudinal that covers, let's say, 100-year period or 200-year period. We won't have the time to study all that happened. So shorter periods for us to appreciate the generality of how far we have come as a nation. So if you pick the current syllabus, for example, when it gets to Ghana, the content that has been selected, even though it covers a protected time period, we just zoom in one at a time. But the syllabus itself, especially the previous one, was chronological syllabus. But these days, they have modified it a bit. And as we move on, we'll be able to see what type of syllabus they are currently using now. The advantage is that a detailed study of the history of a community brings the past to life in a short period. So because it's a short period, we can do much detailed work and then we can communicate. What are the disadvantages? Because of the touch and go attitude of the teaching, it creates gaps in the minds of the learner. The learner is unable to connect. You see, it creates gaps in the minds of the learner because it omits certain antecedents of the event, as well as probably things that precede that syllabus.
We are with you, sir.
Hi.
Yes, sir. We are with you.
So
you are listening.
Now let's go to the last but one. We say syllabus comprises special periods and outlines. And as we go, we try to distinguish between the other kinds of syllabus that we have talked about. What was the first syllabus that we talked about?
Chronological.
So, chronological.
And the second was what? Hello?
Lines of development.
The lines of development. And then we came to which one?
Patch.
The patch syllabus. And now what the syllabus comprising special periods and outlines. Samuel Gray, we are kitchen at the of Hawaii. We don't do anything now. So a syllabus comprising special periods and outlines. We say this syllabus evolves around selected periods in history at various levels of development. It combines the advantages of both the line of development syllabus and then the patch syllabus. This approach is systematic and topical. What we mean is that in the syllabus comprising special periods and outlines, it is like a combination of the line of development syllabus and then the patch syllabus, where it means that the syllabus follows a form of sequence, which makes it chronological, but is looking at selected concepts or periods in history, right? And then again, it is done in detail. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
So he's studying all the history of the past that is done in the chronological, like how they occurred. In the syllabus containing special periods and outlines, they select topics based on the needs of the learner. The topics hello. The topics are treated chronologically.
I hear you.
Yes.
As well as and present a more interesting and intellectually engaging knowledge. So it does so by building connections between the current societal challenges and that of the past. These characteristics make history relevant to the learner. What it does is that even though he's treating selected periods of history, but he's doing it in detail, it will give you a form of, let's say, background information. That's what we say outline. So the background information is like the introduction before we will zoom into the content that he wants you to study.
Elizabeth, is from your end. Kindly check your network or your data connection.
Okay.
It is full.
What I'm saying is that, okay, don't worry. Okay, I'm just going over. I'm going over, don't worry. What I'm saying is that, okay, it's okay, it will come. This kind of syllabus treats selected topics, right, in a chronological manner as well as in detail. It does so by giving you something like a background information before the actual content that he wants to teach you is presented, so that you use the background information to understand the concept, the content that the student have to understand in the lesson. Hello? So we want to study Ghana's resistance or reactions to, let's say, colonialism, why we wanted freedom.
Yes.
So we want to talk about the various activities and actors, what they did, which ultimately led to our independence. But for you to appreciate the contributions of each people or societies or groups, we need to tell you that before them, there were others, right, who also contributed their part. Like, let's say, the Aborigines Right Possession Society, right? Like the Fantis Confederation, right? There are the associations of merchants. All these people were ultimately working so that we might eventually be liberated. But because if it captures all that information in the content, it becomes too voluminous, it will need so much time to study, it will just summarize those developments before he moves on to what is done today or what you are going to study in the syllabus. So it gives you something like background information to understand the present context. Do you understand the difference? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes.
It's like the way women talk. If a woman is complaining to you, you give you a bit of a background information. Especially, hello? Especially if he's coming to complain about your sister.
Yeah.
She's giving you a background. But on card, why?
Yes.
She's building a case against her.
Yeah.
So what is she saying about how your sister is unfriendly to her, how when she sees her, she frowns her face, when she even asks her something, she does not respond. In a outline. I don't know. As some the ponankasa wo. Now in Tiaban is saying, or saying, having will be sir. But yet the same, didn't to Makoma Union. When you again to me and or dine to her. I know that it was said. Okay, they were done into money to her and in the angel. When you were there, you be a new army, yeah, any fair. If she just come and tell you, say, it didn't to Manukuma Union or done it to her, because and sent to my own granted, that's all the better than that. But my background just said, one who said Union on Penasem. Are we clear?
Yes,
so
sir.
those information that is given is what is treated as the background.
Yeah.
When you read any article, at times we have footnotes. And the footnote is to give you some detailed information about some content that you have already read. So if you are a fan of reading footnotes, your understanding of the main content will be better than somebody who does not read footnotes. Are we clear? So the things that happened before, they are the outlines.
In a way, hello, sir.
Yes, I'm listening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm listening.
So, sir, are you saying that in a way the background information is also improving? I'm saying that. So, are you saying that the background information is also important?
Yes, because it will help you to understand currently what is happening. Right?
Hello?
Yes, I got your question that the background information is important. The background information is helping you to understand what is happening. Hello? But because he is interested in the noun, he wants people to understand what is happening now. He doesn't bore you with tracing chronologically all that has happened in the past. Hello?
Yeah,
hello?
So I'm saying that, so in the case where...
I'm listening. Elizabeth.
The woman is trying to complain about the husband. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because if you don't understand the background, you understand what she's talking about.
All right. Hello.
Right.
Thank you.
You take it as something that is trivial.
Yeah. Thank you.
That the woman is being overly dramatic. Right. But if you understand the history, the background that she's giving you, and if it's true, then you can take whatever that she's saying into perspective. Without that, you won't understand what is happening. Right? You are not there and your relative.
Go on.
Yes, you are not there and a relative visited.
Go on.
Yes, I'm just giving another example.
But I'm having
And then you
problem with the
expect that,
network.
okay, you expect that if a visitor visits, given the Ghanaian hospitality, your wife is supposed to offer at least water and some food, and then the visitor can wait for you. But you come and then your wife didn't even offer the person water, right? The way you go and complain, oh, now by at your son, Yama was also there. Oh, I was saying, I know one is you. As soon as you buy a man, you should be out. The man is so often with some said cap with and pay me wrong one. You give maybe be me one. Until on Pesa story, until Obama is you. Well, catch your state, some man is here. Say you won't understand why one man is you. But more history, so about her best 7 times. The BM Kofa is your brainer. The BM Kofa is a friend say, a week, but now also on my week. Of a belacqua. Which we cross away and Tom Belacqua into a week, the man one. I wake so one into a bug if your man is you. Because the man awake now on them. But catch your trust or buy my man is here. You won't understand why. No amount history. So they treat yellow.
Some of us, the local language is putting us off, so we are not understanding what you are saying.
Okay, sorry. The point I'm making is that the background information that is given by way of an outline help you to understand the content that is being treated. The example I was making is that if you get a visitor and then you are not there and the visitor is received by, let's say, your wife, and then you come and ask the visitor whether your wife have offered the visitor water, and she says no, then rational question is why. Then your wife will tell you that this your friend has visited our house, let's say 5 or 7 times. Anytime she's tried to offer him water, maybe what you have in your locality, you have only a week, and then let's say vortic. Your wife will offer this your friend a week, and your friend will refuse the water by saying that he only drinks, let's say, Belapa. So she has tried 3, 4, 5 times, and she has declined the water. So the 7th time that she comes to your house, your wife will not even attempt to give her water because you also don't have Belapa in your community. Right? So the further explanation is in the outline so that you understand what has presently happened, which is your wife refusing to offer your friend water. The rest is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, Doc. It's okay.
So instead of tracing the issue chronologically, which will take a very long time and might be time consuming, the antecedents, what happened before, are presented in a summarized version as an outline, which will help you to understand the kinds of history that they are studying presently. Shorter. What is important for you to understand the shorter period is treated in a form of an outline, in a form of a footnote, which when you read will help you to understand the content that is being studied. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So we say it maintains a balance between the horizontal as well as the vertical. The horizontal is the short period as well as the long period. The short period is that it looks at the history within a short period of time, and the horizontal is what he has summarized in the outline for you to understand. You say, for instance, the history of Ghana is to be studied in detail Look at the period from 1920 to 1950. How many years? From hello? How many years?
30 years.
30 years. The origin of the periods and the sequence outside these periods. Right.
Hi.
That didn't happen, or we didn't have. You are talking about our history. It didn't start from 1920. Right. It didn't start from 1920. Before 1920, there were settlers in Ghana. Who were they? What were they doing? The periods that did not fall within these two periods, from prehistoric era to 1919, will be treated as an outlier, so that it will help you to understand this period, that the 30-year period that he wants us to study. Are we clear? So that it gives some kind of a background information. Okay, this was how Ghana was. We were not a nation. We were small villages and hamlets. People that speak common language will cluster in a place. And then gradually we had family systems. The family developed bigger into a state. And then when we said the state, we were meaning the various ethnic groups in Ghana. Yes. And then probably by 1950, we were seeing ourselves as a nation where Gold Coast are preparing to gain independence. Yes?
Network, you know.
Network. You don't worry. I think code is recording, so when they are done, they will send it. Hello? They will send it to all of us. Complain to MTN so that they improve their service, okay?
Is that?
Complain to MTN.
But the network is good here. We can hear you clear now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as her end.
Okay, so that is how this period is. We say major characteristics of the syllabus containing special periods and outline. One, the antecedent. When we say antecedent, is that happened before the period, takes the form of an introduction. As I said, things that will help an issue that are presented in the footnotes, right? They are presented in the preliminary remarks that are made. The introductory aspect of the course may cover a few lessons at the beginning of the course, and the connections of which the events of the period have with, that is the 1950 era, are outlined briefly at the end of the study. The syllabus combines the advantages of both the line of development syllabus and the patch syllabus to also eliminate the drawbacks associated with both. So yes, we are doing the selections, but what will help us to understand the period that we have chosen is treated in the form of an introduction of an outline, which now eliminates the knowledge gap that is created by the patch syllabus. Are we clear? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then again to
yes, sir.
Yes,
the
no, that clear, sir.
What we mean is that you see the patch period looks at shorter period in detail, right? So because we are concentrating on shorter periods, what happened before, what happened after, and then how does it relate to other developments at the same time, we lose track of all that, right? If we have done a detailed analysis of the past, so let's say if you want to study Ghana's history, let's say from 1979 to 1992, right? That is the Rawlins era. So we can do a detailed understanding of the Rawlins era. But what even necessitated the coming of Jerry John Rawlings. You have to understand the Lehman era and the development in the country under Hillary Lehman. But because it is patch, our focus is only on the Rawlings regime. Are we clear? But this syllabus that contains special periods and outline will treat the Lehman era as an introduction so that we can better understand the Rawlings regime. Are we clear?
Okay.
Yes, sir. So that is how it is done. Now let's tackle the last one for the day, which is the cyclical syllabus. When we say cycle, what does it mean? Hello?
Something moving in a circle.
Yes.
Circle. So movement in the circle form.
Yeah, something that is moving in a circular form. What else? Cyclical. When you say cyclical, what does it mean? Samuel.
Yes, sir. It means something that goes around.
It goes around.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nora. It's repetitive. Okay.
Event that we may not have its beginning or end.
It doesn't have an end. It doesn't have a beginning or end. It goes around and comes around. There's a moving cycle. Emmanuel.
Yeah, I want to also add that it starts from a point and ends at the same point. So it's going round and round.
Okay, so you start from a point and end at, you say cyclical. So, yes, and all that your example that you have given is correct. We said this syllabus is appropriate when dealing with a large area, like a continent or a subcontinent. The history of the European Union from the period of the French Revolution to the First World War, of the history of British West Africa, small cycle of history in each state of the community are taken one after the other. So, per this syllabus, right, the topics are repeated, right, from one stage to the other. But the level of difficulty, right, changes when you move from one stage to the other. Is it clear? That's what I'm saying. It is spiral. It is cyclical. It repeats the content or the topics throughout the school years of the learner.
Yes, sir.
Hello. The same topics are teaching.
Yes, sir.
In the primary school. Similar topics will be treated at the junior high school. The same topics will be treated at the senior high school, but the content differ. Hello? It is like,
hi.
Let me use an example that we can easily relate to.
Like our current curriculum.
Precisely. It means that you are following me.
Yes,
so
sir.
the current curriculum that we are using now is cyclical. Right?
Yes, sir.
The same topics being shifted around level after level, but the content, what is expected of the learner, what is expected of the teacher, changes from one stage to the other. So that is good observation, Laura. What we are doing now, we are practicing the cyclical syllabus because we want you to master some competence which we think are fundamental to your development as a learner. So it is those competencies that we are developing from your primary to junior high school to senior high school to the university, with expectation that when you come to the world of work, you become a useful member of society because the competence that society, that industry deems to be things that they want are the ones that they have developed. And that is why they keep saying that it's the development of 21st century skills, research, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and the likes. Multiple perspective. Those are the things that we need in the 21st century. The content would change, became stale, became archaic, became irrelevant. But if you have mastered how to think, if you have mastered how to research, if you have mastered how to relate with people, you will succeed in this era. If you are technologically inclined, you will succeed. So that is our focus. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So it is cyclical. Who is talking? Mavis.
Sir, I only say yes, sir.
Okay. He says the topics are the same, but each cycle is designed to reinforce the previous learning, and the level of complexity also increases to correspond to a level of maturity. So if you are learning about let's say the peopling of Ghana, the concept of in the university, you should be aware of the various schools of thought that are there, the various accounts, and then you need to be able to synthesize the information and then come up with how you think we gradually settled at our various places and what have you. But at the basic school level, all that you need is that these people came first, they came to meet these people came second, these people, and usually it's from one source. Hello? But
yes, sir.
When introduce the same topic again, what is required is different. That's why we say it is cyclical. A call round, it goes round. Hence, the history topics that are taught in senior high school are the ones that are repeated in Form 1 and Form 2, and then to higher levels. This design allows learners to gradually master concepts and theories that underpins their study, which, if introduced earlier, would have discouraged some learners from developing interest in the discipline. It is very common, those of you that are doing social studies. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
If they are doing social studies at the, let's say, senior high school level, it's very, very interesting. If you are doing, economics at the senior high school level, it is very, very interesting because it doesn't have a lot of mathematics and calculations. It is only, let's say, very small. You do a bit of population, you need a bit of demand and supply. What again? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We are
sir.
doing economics at the senior high school. But when it comes to the university, yes, when it comes to the university, the same economics, it is purely mathematics. If you think that if those mathematical concepts are introduced at the senior high school, you will still have interest in economics. Most of you will drop it. But you do that kind of economics in senior high school, you develop so much love for it. When you come to university and then you are being pushed to do your calculations, and you find a lot of people complaining. And then majority will run into sociology and will leave the economics to the few that have the ability to do calculations. Is that clear? So it gradually builds your interest in the discipline and builds your competence each time the topic is repeated.
Yeah.
So that gradually you become a master of the field. Hello? Was there a question? Hello? Any question?
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
No, sir.
Okay.
No question.
Hello, sir. You are here. Hello, sir.
Okay. So let's look at some of the features of the spiral syllabus. We said topics are revisited, and I think that one is quite clear, quite understandable. There is an increased level of difficulty. We also made that point. And then new learning is related to the previous learning. So because you've done it in, let's say, term 1, when you are doing term 2, that connection is established. And then gradually, competencies of learners increase over time. It was the same thing that we are doing year in, year out. And therefore, even if you didn't get it the first time, by the second or third time that you visit the same topic again, you've gained competency in that level. I would say this syllabus is appropriate when dealing with large areas, like I think we already talked about. And then in treating, let's say, a long period of history, you can break it down so that at each level or in each year, you can treat an aspect of the country's history, and then others will be deferred to the ensuing years, and gradually we build our competencies one after the other. What we should bear in mind is that it is important to note that these types of syllabus identified are not mutually exclusive. What we mean is that at times we leverage on the advantages of all these 5 kinds of syllabus in adopting a particular syllabus. Hello? But the generality of the features of the syllabus will let us know whether it is a chronological syllabus, it is a line of development syllabus, it is a patch syllabus, it is a syllabus containing special features and outlines, or it is a spiral or cyclical syllabus. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you get the point I just raised?
Please, they're not
Yes, sir.
again.
Please,
Okay. What I'm saying is that let me use an example. We see we have various character traits, but we can just summarize it into 2. You are either an introvert or an extrovert. Are we clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's correct.
Yes, you're either an introvert or an extrovert. It is not everything that you do that may align with how they have framed you as an introvert. If you push an introvert, right, he can explode and behave even more than an extrovert. But it is how his demeanor, how he talks, how he reasons, how he relates to people. When we consider everything, we say this person is an introvert or that person is an extrovert. We know that extroverts are people-centered people. They want attention. They always want to be seen. They dress well, but they don't pay attention to detail. Introverts do not want to be seen. They always want to be at the background, but they are very critical, right? But you can have somebody who exhibits majority of the character traits of an extrovert, but probably because of how he has been trained, he pays attention to detail. But when you look at everything that he does, we classify that person as an extrovert. Let's bring that knowledge to the syllabus. We have described various attributes, the characteristics of 3 different kinds of syllabus. And we are saying that at times, in designing a syllabus, we can have a bit of these features into the syllabus that we will design. However, it is the general features. A holistic view of the syllabus will tell us that, okay, when we look at this syllabus, it aligns to the cyclical syllabus or the chronological syllabus based on the major features of the syllabus. So they are not mutually exclusive. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello,
So this
Doc.
implies that, yeah, you can combine two or more syllables together because of a particular aim that you have in mind. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Yes, hello. So if we want to assess the syllabus, we look at common practice and trends, theoretical underpinnings, historical knowledge, acquisition pedagogy, wider educational context, course objectives, and then learner's background. These are things that we consider before we adapt a particular types of syllabus. Is there any question? Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello,
Is there
sir.
any question?
Hi, sir.
Yes, sir.
No,
Is it
please.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes,
So
Yes, sir. It's
I
clear.
want, okay.
Yes, sir.
you are clear.
I want the few of you to summarize what we've done for the day so that I know that I didn't waste my time. You were with me. So what are your takeaways from today's presentation?
Okay, sir. We started today with the
Sir.
and then we look at curriculum being the full course. That is an institution practice, or the aim is maybe to develop the student for a purpose. And then the syllabus is a summary of the courses or the topic, or it's going to indicate to the teacher and how the teacher is going to apply it. And then right from there, we came to the other session, that is the chronological syllabus, the outline the development syllabus, and then patch syllabus. Then there we look at that the chronological syllabus is the arrangement of the topic in such a way that we learn from simple to complex. And the purpose is to make sure that the student will be able to understand the topic from the lower level to the upper. And then we came into the outline development. That is, we do selection of certain topic for the purpose of developing maybe a student for
a lot of things for us. Let's also listen to Nancy. Nancy. Nancy, you have the floor. Hello. Who is talking? I can see Nancy's hand. But Elizabeth, are you talking to us? Nancy. Elizabeth. Okay. Anyone else?
Oh.
Hello.
Sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are listening.
So apart from the syllabus and then the curriculum, we also look at the types of history syllabus.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, we are listening.
We look at the chronological syllabus, the line, the patch, and the rest. So we said the chronological syllabus is the arrangement of events in an orderly manner or sequence of the way the things have happened.
Okay.
And then we look at the advantages and the disadvantages. And we said the advantage, it gives orderly representation of events to students. And then it gives an in-depth knowledge to the students.
Okay.
And the disadvantage, we said it is time consuming.
Okay.
And then two, it needs much of content to be taught and covered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
so
what you done well.
to also continue.
You done well. You done well.
Thank you, sir.
Nancy.
Thank you. They give me marks.
I'll give you marks. Don't worry. Me, if you do well, I'll give you all the marks.
Give me 2020.
That marks, man.
Give me
if you get 2020, I'll give you 20.
Mommy, 2020. Say,
If you deserve 2020, I'll give you 22.
Yeah, give me 2020.
Okay. You don't have problem.
I have done well.
You don't have problem. Once you understand that the quiz, you get everything correct. Okay. So I think we can call it a day.
Are you talking about quiz?
Oh, you do, please. Don't worry.
All right. Good night.
But I think we can call it a day.
Oh, Vivian. Again.
Vivian, Uzu.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Vivian. Vivian, you want to say something?
They are running away.
Okay. So I think that we can call it a day. It's been such an interactive or engaging time. We'll meet next week, same time. I don't know why you keep asking me when we have it in the morning. We always have it in the evening. In the morning, I'm busy. So we'll have it in the evening. So, okay? So we'll meet next week.
Network.
Okay, so you don't worry. We'll meet next week.
Okay.
Next week, Saturday, same time, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So tell
sir.
your colleagues that it's the same time. Okay. Enjoy your evenings.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you, sir. You
Say that twice.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, I'll just put it there right now. By the way, don't worry. Okay. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.